You have spent years making yourself the most reliable person in the room, only to realize that reliable is often just a polite word for taken for granted. You have become a resource that never runs dry, and in the economy of human nature, a surplus is never a prize. Today, we examine the precise moment your availability became your invisibility, and how to reclaim the weight of your presence by mastering the art of the vacuum. But first, let me ask you something straight up. Are you reliable? Of course you are, but is it possible you're so reliable that you're not actually respected for it? You're just taken for granted. Because stick with me for the next few minutes and you are going to learn exactly why your absence can be a way more potent weapon than your constant presence ever was. So first we have to talk about something called the availability trap, because this right here is where the problem starts for so many of us. Think about that for a second. Let it really sink in. When you're always there, always ready to reply, always saying yes, people just stop seeing you. It's a paradox, right? Your constant availability has literally made you invisible. Let's think of it in basic economic terms. You've flooded the market with you. Access to your time, your mind, your energy. It's become cheap, and when things are cheap, they just aren't valued as highly. It's that simple. In fact, let's do a little experiment. Go ahead, open your phone. Look at your last 3 text conversations. Who consistently replied faster? Who was putting in more effort sending the last message? If it was you, well, you're the one chasing. And the one who chases is always seen as having less value. So, here's the key takeaway from all this. A person's social weight, their gravity, their influence, it's measured by the gap they leave when they're gone. If you never leave, there's no gap. And if there's no gap, there's no gravity pulling people towards you. So, why does this work? What's going on in our brains? Well, it all boils down to a fundamental rule of human psychology, the scarcity equation. And look, this isn't some new idea. Machiavelli was talking about this centuries ago. It is a simple kind of brutal truth about us as people. If something is easy to get, we just don't value it as much. And this is the real danger of being too reliable, too available. You risk becoming furniture in other people's lives. You know, you're useful, sure, you're comfortable to have around. You're always there, and because of that, you're completely ignored until someone needs something. It's all rooted in what's called the scarcity principle. Our minds are just hardwired to obsess over what's limited, what we might not be able to get. Scarcity by its very nature automatically creates a perception of value. So which one are you? A rare artifact, something precious and unique, or are you just another product on the shelf, easy to grab, easy to replace, easy to ignore? Your availability is what decides that. Okay, so we know the problem. How do we fix it? We've got to move from understanding the theory to using a strategy. And that strategy is about creating a psychological vacuum. You know how they say nature abhors a vacuum? Well, so does the human mind. When you strategically pull back, you create a void. And in your absence, people's minds start working to fill that space. They start thinking about you, replaying conversations, wondering what you're up to. And without even realizing it, they start constructing a version of you in their head that is way more important than the one they were just taking for granted. Now, a lot of us are scared of silence. We think it makes us look weak or lonely. We have to completely reframe that. Strategic silence is not passive. It is an active, powerful statement. It says, my energy is valuable and right now this doesn't warrant it. Okay, and this part is absolutely crucial. We need to be crystal clear. This is not about ghosting. Ghosting is usually an act of weakness, of avoidance. Strategic withdrawal is an act of power. It's a conscious choice you make to recalibrate a relationship where you've been devalued. It's not about running away from good, healthy relationships. It's about signaling that your focus is on things of higher value. And that includes your own self-respect. So, we've covered the why. Now, let's talk about the how. This brings us to the final part, and it's something you can actually do, your 24-hour recalibration. The whole goal here is to shift your position. You need to stop being a convenient little stopover on someone else's journey and start being the destination they actually have to make an effort to reach. And that starts with one core belief. Your attention is a privilege, not a right. Here's another tough question for you. If you just vanished for a week, no texts, no calls, nothing, who would actually panic? And who would just shrug and find another tool to use for their problem? The answer to that question tells you everything you need to know. So, here's your challenge. It's simple. Sometime in the next 24 hours, a test is going to arrive. It'll be a text that expects an instant reply or a last-minute request. Here's what you do. Step 1, recognize it's a test. Step 2, you do nothing. Step 3, you do not flinch. Just let that silence sit there. Feel their expectation. Feel your own discomfort and hold your ground. That's the power you're taking back. Because in this world where everyone is screaming for attention, the most dangerous, most powerful move you can make in the game of social chess is the walk. One moment of practice scarcity will teach you more than 100 hours of theory. By refusing to be common, you force the world to recalibrate its perception of you. You are retraining the people around you to treat your presence as a finite, precious resource. So, I'll leave you with this. Take a good hard look at your life, your interactions. If you disappear tomorrow, would your absence be a loss that people actually feel, or would you just be a vacant seat easily filled by the next person who comes along? That choice is yours. If you are ready to stop being furniture and start being the architect of your own value, drop a comment below with the words, "My time is non-negotiable." Subscribe to Mind Games Explained to continue your descent into the strategies of the untouchable. Your reign begins now.